Welcome to the breakdown where we break down all the messed up shit. My name is Spooky, and today we are looking at Tetsuo, the Iron Man. Y'all have been asking for this for a long time and it's here. Now, Tetsuo is kind of like a Eraserhead, directed by Shinya Tsukamoto. It's a hectic, it's nuts, it's all over the place. And at the same time, it's one of those kind of movies you just really should watch for yourself. Tetsuo the Iron Man is all about some metal fetishist who takes revenge on a random salaryman by turning him into a metal abomination. So, you know what we do. We sit down and we watch what happens. So, if you want to see what happens, including all the messed up parts, stay tuned for the breakdown. Cue the Gohan. Somebody is just walking around, strolling around without a care in the world. He's got something in his pocket that he wants to stick inside himself. He goes to his apartment and it's full of pictures of NBA players. Sounds like a fan of the West when it comes to culture. Anyway, the thing he wanted to stick inside himself is a metal rod. This is because this man is the Metal Fetishist. I'll probably just call him MF from now on. He bandaged it up, but soon the whole wound is infested with larvae. He freaks out and runs outside screaming. Now, that's a question. We already know he likes metal, but why did he decide to run out for help? This town is so dead too. Perfect social distancing. Anyway, MF runs into the street and gets ran over by a car, but him and the car sound like they are having sex. It seems as time freezes for a bit and some kind of jazz music plays. One point of irony is how he supposedly gets killed by machinery, even though he has a big boner for it all the time. Next, we see the Salaryman. He's the person who ran over MF, and sometime after it, he is fazed by random daydreams where he is surrounded by metal and machinery and inside factories. Once he snaps out of it, we see him just shaving with a clean piece of metal stuck in his cheek. Just touching it makes blood splatter everywhere. I wonder where that came from. Next, we see him on the phone with his girlfriend. They both just repeat hello to each other. We've seen a lot of crazy salarymen over the years. The real phone call has the girlfriend talking about a hit and run, a recent hit and run. I don't think the film wants you to know the driver yet, but it's probably pretty obvious by now. Sometimes he even daydreams about sex with his girlfriend. His mind must be on the gutter, even on his way to work. He sits right next to a lady who scoots right the fuck over. I don't blame her. However, she gets really compelled to look at the floor where a metal organ is sitting, steaming. Inside the metal organ is like a miniature MF. Her poking it turns her into a metal zombie, basically a weak version of MF. Vicious and stiff as she adapts to her new appendage, the Salaryman gets up to run away from the metal geek. All through the subway is where their little chase is. I quite like her design here. In a way, it kind of reminds me of a metal clicker. I know she isn't blind, but still. He hides in a bathroom, but there ain't no hiding from a machine. Somehow, when she has him in her grasp, he breaks free and zooms to some random workshop. It is filmed in a way to make you think that somehow the Salaryman glided there like the Flash or something. Pretty cool sound effects too. I like cyber stuff. She follows him to some random workshop and has him cornered. See, I think the metal fetishist who is controlling her soon takes over her to the point where she morphs into him. Right before harming the Salaryman, his arm bucks up as if metal is extending, as if he activated Wanfo Aru. His strength increases 100 times, and he completely breaks the metal zombie in half. Soon after, he has some violent reactions again because of his growing transformation, one that has took over his arm and ankle temporarily. In fact, it looks like his ankle actually has propellers. I knew he was gliding. Reminds me of Lita from My Hero. Anyway, the Salaryman soon daydreams about his girlfriend again. This time, however, she is dancing all sexually with a big metal thing that is probably representing a strap-on dildo. And of course, the Salaryman is bent over like that, waiting for something to happen. You can just pretty much guess that she's gonna plunge that metal thing inside of him. Unrealistically so as well. But then he wakes up. Looks like it was a nightmare. Or maybe it was a dream he wants to happen, I don't know. His girlfriend is over there with him. Soon, they have sex again, until they seem to just stop short like he was hurting her or something. I think it was just an intermission because he quickly cooks something to feed to her. Every time she takes a bite or does something with her mouth, it is accompanied with some kind of metallic sound. This is one of the Japanese films in which sex and food are mixed together. Soon though, his transformation starts again. He grew a drill penis. Shocked and scared, he hides in a closet. The girlfriend tries telling him to open the door because she won't be scared. She pries that motherfucker open and he hides in the corner of the kitchen. She hugs him saying, "Don't leave me alone." "Nothing shocks me," she says. We can see his face turning into that iron form and its drill starts up. Turns out, she was pretty shocked. She knocks him down and grabs a pan from the kitchen to burn it onto his face, but he has quite the control over his metal abilities. Number 15, Iron. He gets a little too excited, and I think he was planning on doing something disgusting with the drill. I think he was planning on doing something disgusting with the drill. And so, she stabs him in the neck. And of course, she is licking and kissing all over him because it's especially sexual, right? I mean, just of course. Now, when he awakens, he finds her dead. Blood spraying everywhere because she placed herself on the drill. It was just suicide because she didn't want to be alone. Well, he is still alive and is about 80% done with his Iron Man transformation. Elsewhere, the Metal Fetishist awakens. Seems like he had metal implanted in his brain at one point to satisfy the fetish or create it. The Iron Man is now completely transformed and has built his deceased friend a little shrine. I think he is tonguing her down and maybe filling her with oil. Don't know why, of course. Regardless, soon he gets a phone call from MF. He threatens him as if he saw what the Salaryman did last summer. Really, it's cause the Salaryman ran over the MF in the beginning. The girlfriend was with him. You know what they did? They disposed of his body in the woods and then had sex on a tree when they knew he was watching. Probably thought he was gonna die. Kinda reminds me of that movie Crash that I should probably do. Anyway, MF propels himself all the way to the Iron Man's flat. The closer he gets, metal of all sorts is destroyed and manipulated. He's like metallized everything, even the cats. Somehow, he uses metal energy to remotely take over the dead girlfriend's corpse. He soon completely dissolves her body just to reach his actual form. He completely overpowers his creation and makes him see the world through his eyes. A world completely turned into a ball of metal, where metal reigns over everything. Not gonna lie, this would make an interesting villain. Just somebody literally trying to change nature and destroy us all. Soon, the two metal freaks get into a chase all around the empty town. The MF ain't all fine and dandy though. Looks as if he is plagued by some vision reminding him of being beaten by some hobo when he was a boy. Looks like the vision was too much to bear, and the Iron Man takes advantage and hides in a warehouse. You can't really hide too long from this though. This being with complete control over metal. He seems to cause a wide reaction that makes the Iron Man turn into a huge, grotesque metal blob. MF forms some kind of flamethrower attachment, but that isn't gonna do anything against this metal blob. The Iron Man completely envelops him and even sticks a gigantic drill throughout him. Yes, I'm quite confused too. The MF struggles to break apart from the Iron Man, but he won't let him. This would probably make a very cool anime adaptation as well. MF and the Iron Man are now connected in more ways than one, and soon begin to share the same thoughts and goals. They morph into a huge weaponized metal object similar to a tank, and begin to speed all around the city. The movie ends as they both digress that they want to destroy the world and turn it into a big metal ball. Well, I wonder who can really stop them. So, now that we got through this film, let's talk about the most disturbed moment and most enjoyed moment in that spooky stuff. Cue to Gohan! So, that was a very crazy film to be able to watch. It runs a little over an hour long, and despite being low budget, I think it does what it aims for pretty well. Now, I'm not very analytical on this channel as I would rather just do simple recaps, but y'all know Cinema Nippon? Y'all know Cinema Nippon. They make excellent reviews and analysis on many kinds of Japanese films. If you're very interested in learning more about this film, and also what this film and its scenes could mean behind the frames, please check out Cinema Nippon's awesome video on Tetsuo, and they have pretty interesting videos on other films that you would be interested in too. The link to the video is in the description. So, let's get right into it. The most disturbing moment for me is kind of hard to pick. The movie didn't really pick at me or anything like that. Just for tradition, I'll say that in reality, the whole sex on a tree thing after running somebody over is kind of extreme. You could also say the whole suicide on a drill thing is disturbing as well. The most enjoyable moment is possibly for me the scene where MF is exhibiting control, either through the zombie lady or even when he is chasing Iron Man all around and manipulating things around him. I'm a pretty big superhero fan, so anything that could be potentially a pretty cool villain idea gets me going. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You can check out this movie on YouTube for free. And either way, if you would like to talk about this film beyond any synopsis, check out Cinema Nippon and their cool video on it, and even their channel in general. Thanks for watching. Spooky out!